Hi guys, Patrick, Shoreline Yamaha. Just want to bring you up to speed on the grab handle assembly that we're going to fit up to Paul Hayes' jet cast fishing machine. So there's some couple componentries to it, which I just want to talk about. So the major components are really the tubes, which will act as the grab handles. You've got 4 mounting brackets, and then you've got 4 mounting boss sections with some attachment self-tapping screws. So clearly that's what's going to go into the machine. And then we've got the necessary tools. So obviously a drill with a 3.5 drill bit, some little plastic wedges, and then a 4mm and a 5mm Allen key, a pen marker, a good quality one, and some masking tape, 10 spanner, and a little rule. Ideally, the grab handle attachment's going to go up around the nose of the ski itself, and we want to identify where the stainless plates are going to go. And the easy way is to use our masking tape. Simply take the masking, tear off a section. We know the bosses are going to be lined up there. So as a reference, so when we remove the bumpers, we know exactly where the bosses are going to go. So clearly there's going to be 4 in total, 2 up front, 2 at the rear. So that's the masked up front section, and then the rear section is in this vicinity on the Yamaha FX. So we take the tape, get it to line up nice and in line with the actual bumper section itself. I like to take then the wider tape, and just as a more of an identification, or be able to mark it up a little better, is place a nice tall section of masking. As well as when we're working with the bar, we don't want to scratch the hull. Take another section and fit up. Clearly we've got a forward mounting bracket and a rear, and the difference really is just the bend that facilitates a nice angle to the hull itself. So the idea here, the reason why we're not going to remove the bumpers, is that these are going to give us the correct height that needs to be in behind the bumper. So simply by taking a plastic wedgie, we do like so, and that being the rear, that being the front, place that in just like so and close it up. The tension of the bump is going to hold it up against it just temporarily. And then we'll come to the rear, the same thing, push that in, and ideally that's going to go just like so. Pull out the wedgie. All right, from there we've got a rear boss section and a front boss section. To identify the front, it has a hole straight through it, and the rear is a blank off boss section. So that's where the tube will end. So we'll get into placing the bar and how to mount it up. And then from there, once we're happy we've pen marked around where these need to be, we will remove the bumpers and then refit up and mark out and drill the holes necessarily. All right, as you can see, this end of the tube, being one of the side tubes, is the left side, L for left. Obviously, you see how it's been swaged to then fit into the front bar. Once that pushes in, takes the supplied top cap, put it in, make sure the thread goes all the way through, and bring up the main boss up to there. Once you've got both in, take it across to the ski, and we're going to then drop it onto where we've mounted the plates. Just get a idea of measurement between the edge of the bumper and the insert plate. But once we've got everything sort of semi-lined up, we're going to make the necessary adjustment to square this up. So at the end of the day, we've got to have this pull bar section, the very front section, 100% square to the nose of the actual ski itself, and that's what's going to tell us whether we're too much left or too much right. Just get this to nip up, not tighten, just to a point where the actual bolt is attached to the base plate itself. And then the same on the opposite side. Not tight at all, if anything loose. And that's initial setup. And then we're going to go to the rear section and do that. So as you see, the rear brackets in, the rear boss section with the closed off end, and then the open end, top cap on, bottom on, lift up, and not to be tight at all, and leave it loose. So essentially now we've got the entire grab handle assembly in place, but clearly the only thing that's holding it in place are really the side bumper and the front bumper. So we'll get to squaring this up, and what's most important is that that pull section is dead square of the nose of the ski. Will determine on what gapping we've got at the rear on both sides. So the trick is to get it squared up nicely, and then once we're happy we've got it squared up and these brackets got equal measurement, and that's the idea of the little 150 rule, which I'll get to. So here we go. What we want to achieve, being that the base plate has got an ear on it, we want to measure down onto the base plate and the actual edge of the bumper. And we want to, if you notice, we sort of 10 millimeter this side, and to that side we're going to be 10 millimeter as well. And simply by the rule coming down and touching the ear of the base plate, then you'll know that the actual base plate is square to the bumper. Once we're happy we've got the base plate squared up, we're going to take our pen marker and very easily just mark up and around what the masking that you've done on the actual hull. We go nice and round. That's the front. We'll come to the rear, and that'll tell us exactly the height once the bumpers are off. So once all the bolts are loosened off, obviously the bumper will be removed for safekeeping, and there we have our nicely marked out shape of the bracket. And the idea here is, being that that's the masking line, we know that's dead in line with the actual bumper itself. So the final lineup is to get it back to line up with the black marker that we squared up. We spoke about that 10 millimeter, and then we're going to mark out the plate. The beauty of the plate, it's elongated, so if there is any fine adjustment, we'll be able to move it on the elongation. But essentially we're going to drill dead center of each elongated mark. We're going to center drill in each. Move the masking, and then we're going to mount up the plate, making sure we've got the forward mounting plate. Ideally put the front self-tapper screw in first. Get that going. And the second and the third. So there you go. That's the first bracket, forward bracket. And then from there, we're obviously going to proceed to do the rear of the same side, and then the two on the opposite side. So we're nearly there, guys. Now all four brackets are mounted up, nicely up onto the hull. So then we're going to take the bar assembly, the grab bar assembly complete, and we're going to line it up onto the bracket attachments, and we're going to thread it down. Again, just lightly nip. We get the one in. Clearly we're going to get the other in. There's the one, and then we're going to go to the rear. Okay, so once the front is attached, then we're going to take the rear boss section, chase the bolts and cap through. It perfectly aligns. And then we'll proceed to do the other side. As you can see, it's lying on there really nice. The only thing we're going to do before we put the bumpers on is just make sure it's all squared up. If we need or feel that it needs any adjustment to the one side or the other side, the beauty of these plates, they have the elongation. So if we loosen off the self-tappers, we can then move them forward or back to get it perfectly aligned. But if you did a good mark out, you'll be bang on the money. Take the bumpers and we can start fitting the bumpers up. So straightforward, make your final sight of that the bar is all squared up, looks pretty good. The clearance between the boss section and the bumper is bang on. You can then reattach all the bumpers, all three bumpers, left, right, and forward. All done and dusted. Straightforward. Change over. Best of